Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum too.
On his way to the Super Bowl, Donald Trump reviving his 2018 policy to tax foreign metals. Back then, Australia got an exemption. This time around,
we are not being carved out, we're not being left alone. We are now collateral in a global trade war.
industry leaders are holding crisis talks in Canberra in an attempt to save a $1 billion export industry.
We will continue to make the case to the United States for Australia to be given an exemption.
The Prime Minister seeking to reassure voters, revealing,
I have a discussion with President Trump scheduled.
This is a test for Anthony Albanese and Kevin Rudd to see and to make sure that we get a carve-out.
The US imported more than $400 million worth of Australian aluminium last year and more than $600 million worth of steel. Most of it from BlueScope's steelworks in Port Kembla.
The people who make the steel are the workers, and our barometer isn't looking great when America decides to take such an offensive position towards Australia.
BlueScope, maker of Colorbond, has 7,000 workers nationwide. The company's hoping its expansion into the US will give it some protection. BlueScope is now the 5th largest steel producer in the US, employing 4,000 American workers, the company said.
I know the Australian government will be fighting hard for Australian jobs, but I think everything's got to be on the table.
When it was last in government, the coalition secured an exemption from US steel and aluminium tariffs, but it took 12 months for the carve-outs to be confirmed. With an election looming, the Prime Minister doesn't have the luxury of time. He's due to speak to Donald Trump in the next 24 hours in what will be a major test of his ability to manage this crucial relationship. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.